Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the President of Laboratory Diagnostics for Siemens Healthineers, Franz Wald.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow, what a party. All right, I got to keep moving. Good to see you.
So dear laboratory diagnostics professionals, thank you very much for joining us here today. Last year at the AACC, we unveiled our game-changing Atellica solution, a flexible, scalable, automation-ready clinical chemistry and immunoassay analyzer. In Greece, just a month ago at the AACC, visitors saw our growing Atellica portfolio. So here in San Diego today, we are showcasing 3 of our Atellica products. So today, I'm very, very proud to announce that the Atellica solution has recently received FDA clearance. So I invite everyone to see the Atellica solution and how it offers control, simplicity, so you can focus on driving better outcomes. You can view it either standalone or also connected to the Aptio automation. So the Atellica solution is truly an innovative. It has a bidirectional magnetic sample transport system, which runs 10 times faster than conventional conveyors. It has a revolutionary technology with independent control over every sample. It's the new standard in sample transport management. It also has an immunoassay analyzer that runs up to 440 tests per hour. This is the highest productivity per square meter in the industry. It also has an unprecedented flexibility. You can scale it up to 10 components, which can be combined into over 300 customizable configurations. And right out of the box, it can be connected to Aptio automation. Aptio automation is the world-leading total lab automation system that enables multidisciplinary connectivity for chemistry, immunoassays, hemostasis, hematology, as well as plasma protein analysis. So the Atellica solution has an extremely robust assay offering with a planned menu of 175 assays, as well as 50 more in the pipeline. So please visit our Atellica assay presentation so we can show you how engineering innovations have significantly impacted assay total turnaround time as well as precision. So before I move on, let's take a moment to experience the power of the Atellica solution.
Experience the power of the Atellica solution. Flexible, scalable, automation-ready immunoassay and chemistry analyzers. Engineered by Siemens Healthineers Laboratory Diagnostics to deliver control and simplicity so you can drive better outcomes. Experience the new standard in sample management. Revolutionary technology that gives you independent control over every sample from routine to stat. The Atellica solution handles more than 30 different sample container types. A multi-camera vision system independently characterizes each tube. Watch as it scans the stat tube. The intelligent software recognizes immediately that it's a priority and loads it onto the patented bidirectional Atellica magline transport that is 10 times faster than conventional sample conveyors. The intelligent scheduling software then pulls the stat out of the workflow, routes the routine samples out of the way, and the stat is moved to the front of the line. Within seconds, it is aspirated from the primary tube. Now watch as the stat sample is pulled back into the workflow. The Atellica solution picks up right where it left off. Experience unprecedented flexibility, making it simple to future-proof your lab. With up to 10 components which can be combined into more than 300 customizable configurations, including linear, L, and U shapes, the Atellica solution easily adapts to changing testing needs and space requirements and can operate as a standalone system or connect to Aptio automation to provide a complete multidisciplinary solution. Experience the freedom to focus on driving better outcomes with an immunoassay analyzer that runs up to 440 tests per hour, a broad and expanding menu with proven detection technologies, and service innovations to maintain system operations at peak performance. Experience many more differentiating features, including automatic quality control and calibration with onboard refrigerated storage for 60 controls and calibrators for uninterrupted operation and predictable turnaround times. The same reagents and consumables across analyzers and configurations for consistent results across multiple locations. A wireless operator tablet for system monitoring and control. Rigorous environmental control of temperature and humidity for high-quality results. Live chat, voice, and video remote service support via Siemens Remote Service. Now is the time to experience the power of the Atellica solution.
So I hope you like it. So no wonder one professional said, I won't sleep until I get one. And now let's talk about our Atellica Diagnostic IT. So Siemens Healthineers and IBM Watson Health announced in October 2016 a 5-year strategic alliance in population health management. So we are planning to use the data from our large installed base of in vitro and in vivo instruments and combine it with population health management data and provide with that actionable information for our customers. So today we are showcasing our Atellica Diagnostics IT for laboratories, which provides seamless connection between our systems, automation, and ultimately patient records. And beyond this, Atellica Diagnostics IT will be able to connect to our Siemens Healthineers digital ecosystem, which is under development. So what we can show you today is a diagnostics application of it, laboratory diagnostics application, the so-called Atellica Diagnostics IT. So it brings together key elements from our existing solutions, like connectivity and data management, inventory management, as well as clinical decision support, and process management. So I really encourage you to visit our IT display to hear more about these digital programs. From there, please take the time, stop by to see our Atellica Molecular Diagnostics 160 sample prep system, our multidisciplinary automation, as well as our new and innovative point-of-care solutions. So thank you very much for your time and enjoy experiencing the power of Atellica and have a great day. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to take a tour of the Atellica solutions that surround us. I'm going to head right over here, make a pathway here, and if you'd like to join me over here to see a demonstration of the Atellica solution, I would urge you to follow me now.
Hello, everyone.
This is pretty exciting, isn't it?
Isn't this cozy?
It is very cozy. We like cozy. So good morning and welcome, everybody. We're going to begin with the Atellica solution. So the Atellica solution comprises flexible, scalable, automation-ready immunoassay and chemistry analyzers. It has a throughput of more than 440 immunoassay tests per hour, and its patented bi-directional transport technology is 10 times faster than conventional conveyors. The Atellica solution is designed to deliver control and simplicity so that you can drive better outcomes. In the IT area, behind us over here, you can experience the power of Atellica Diagnostics IT. Siemens Healthineers is pioneering the digitalization of clinical laboratories. You can digitize your multi-site lab with inventory management, QC and patient result reporting, remote instrument control, and real-time analytics to improve your workflow and your bottom line. In the back, we have the Atellica MDX 160 sample prep. That's flexible, automated extraction system with maximum productivity for multiple sample types. And do visit the other areas of our booth. Behind the Atellica solution, we've got our assay area, and you can learn more about the Atellica assays, or you can discover the benefits of our open POC informatics solutions on my left. And ladies and gentlemen, right here in 30 minutes, we're going to have a very exciting acquisition announcement that has a major impact on blood gas testing and the industry. That'll happen right over here at the theater area where we were just a moment ago. Thank you for your time and attention. Joe, I'm going to turn this over to you to start up the demo. Joe and Denise will be orchestrating that.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, everyone, for being here. My name is Joe Amadeo. I'm part of the marketing team here at Siemens, joined by my lovely colleague, Denise Pastore. We are very, very excited to be able to introduce you to the Atellica solution with a brief demonstration. What you will soon see, and what you have already seen, is that the Atellica solution has been engineered by Siemens to provide control and simplicity so that you can focus on delivering better outcomes. And I'm going to start today's brief presentation by covering the sample handler. And I think what you'll really see as I describe what the sample handler is all about and what it does, you'll understand what we mean about simplicity, about being able to provide simplicity. Because what we've decided to do and what we've designed to do with the sample handler is figure out ways to ask less of our operators, because we have a system that can do more. And so I'll take you through a walkthrough of what I mean by that. But when you think of some of the things that are time-consuming, manual activities that you're responsible for today with sample management, things like calibration and control handling, things like pouring off of samples into separate containers, things like pre-sorting your samples. Those are all real examples of what we can do with the sample handler and drastically reduce those activities for you so that we can save you time in your lab. All we really are asking for you to do with the sample handler is load samples and shut the drawer. So I'm going to explain that a little bit further. Probably difficult for you to see, but one of the first things that you could see if you were right in front of the analyzer is that this sample handler was designed for very high capacity. There are 440 positions on the sample handler for different tubes. On top of those 440 positions, we have validated more than 30 different tube types and containers, including pediatric microtainers. So many different tube types and sizes can be utilized. So on top of all that, any of those 30 tube types can be placed in any of the 440 positions. So that's that type of incredible flexibility that we give you so that you don't have to deal with those bothersome pre-sorting techniques that you're potentially used to today. So, as I was mentioning, your basic task as an operator would be to load the sample tubes in any order that you see fit, and then shut the drawer. From that point, we let the sample handler take over. And what you would see is, if you're a little bit closer, is there's a variety of lights that start flashing once you close a sample handler drawer. That is our drawer vision system. The drawer vision system has a couple of important tasks. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to take an aerial view of all of those positions. It's going to look for empty positions and cap tube positions so that it knows that the robotic arm should skip those. The robotic arm should move very efficiently and quickly only to places where there is a new tube that's waiting for analysis. So that's one of the functions of the drawer vision system. The other thing that it's doing is it's going to look for stat sample trays. So I'm not tall enough to be able to show you all a stat sample tray, but when you get a little bit closer, you'll be able to see. Once we load a stat sample tray, we close that drawer. Within seconds, the vision system is going to recognize that there's a stat, and it's going to ask the robotic arm to make its next move towards that stat sample. And so by that culmination of features, within 10 seconds, we're grabbing the stat sample and moving it toward the analyzer for analysis. The tube itself will be further characterized once it reaches the back of the sample handler. So there's a couple of innovative things that will happen on the rear of the sample handler. Every single tube will be characterized. What I mean by that is the tube type, the tube height, the tube diameter, even the way that the tube is sitting in the sample carrier, meaning if it's even slightly tilted by a few degrees, all of that information is collected and it's passed on to the analyzers themselves. And the reason we do that is because we can now maneuver and manipulate the sample in front of the analyzer in order to make sure we're getting a dead center aspiration and we're preventing probe crashes. It's a type of intelligence that you're just not going to find on other chemistry and amino assay analyzers. So 2 more quick things that I want to say before we pass things on over to Denise. Another wonderful innovation of the sample handler is the fact that there is a 60-position refrigerated compartment inside the sample handler. That is where we are going to store our calibrator and our control material. Each of those positions is individually covered so that we can maximize the onboard stability of those materials. But more importantly, we're going to be able to program our software so that those materials can automatically be deployed without any operator intervention. Those materials can be automatically deployed to the appropriate analyzer based on each assay's need. And so that's why we're so excited about this feature, is because we know that this helps improve your workflow. This simplifies the operation of one of the most time-consuming and complicated tasks in the laboratory, which is handling your calibration in QC. So the final thing I want to say about sample management is probably the most exciting. With the sample handler, you will introduce your specimens to our innovative and patented Atellica Magline transport. And I hope you have been able to see on the video, and if not, you can see it here in person today. This is the fastest type of sample transport that you will see. Not only is it fast and smooth and reliable, it also has one distinct characteristic, and that it can bidirectionally move samples. So when we think about stat management, and like I mentioned earlier, the ability to prioritize a sample within seconds of you loading it in the drawer, it is further prioritized once it hits this mag line, because even if samples are queued up at the chemistry analyzer, because of the bidirectional movement, we can literally push those routine samples out of the way and allow for the stat to be aspirated within 60 seconds. That stat sample can then be reintroduced to the workflow, sent to immunoassay, sent to the sample handler, wherever it needs to go. The routines can be pulled back into the aspiration area. The whole idea is that these culmination of features really allow us to optimize and maximize throughput and turnaround time for not only stats, but your routines as well. So with all of that being said, talking about the control and simplicity that sample management delivers to you, I wanted to hand things over to Denise so that she can talk to you about what happens once the analyzers get a hold of the samples.
Thank you, Joe. Some of the reasons that we say that the Atellica solution is so scalable and so flexible is that it comes in over 300 different configurations. So I am going to talk to you about the analyzers, but do realize you can have multiple sample handlers. You can have up to 7 different analytical components, mixing and matching clinical chemistry and immunoassay testing. So I'll start here with the clinical chemistry. It runs at the rate of 1,800 tests per hour, 1,200 photometrically, and 600 from the IMTs. So what happens is that the sample will come over to the input queue. The probe will aspirate out a 50 microliter aliquot of specimen and deposit it into the retain wheel in the back. From there, we can aspirate up to 15 photometric tests, employing the use of microvolume sample technology, which is wonderful for your pediatric and geriatric specimens. From there, that aliquot is deposited into the reaction tray, which we house in a water bath and hold at 37 degrees C. No worries about maintenance because it's automatically emptied once a week, and to which we add an antimicrobial for the prevention of bacterial contamination. The IMTs are located here for the analysis of sodium, potassium, and chloride on a single chip. No worry about maintenance, or no maintenance required, or calibration. They're automatically calibrated for you every 4 hours, and you can change them on the fly. All of the solutions needed to support the ISCs are over here, and they can also be changed on the fly. They're also keyed as every other solution that I'll show you later on in the consumption area, so you cannot put them in the wrong spot. The reagents on the system are housed over here. This is where you load them. There's R1 and R2. R1 is white and R2 is blue. And you'll see that they have a special design. And this is a 2-well design on this chemistry assay. The reason we do this is that what we'll do is we'll puncture the top of the first cap and aspirate and deplete from there. And then once that's emptied, we'll move over to the second and then aspirate from there. The reason we do this is for the preservation of onboard stability. These reagents, or also many of them, are concentrated reagents, so we can get from 200 to 2,200 tests out of a single cap. To load them is quite simple. You just load them onto the system, and then the reagent area will move over to the right, and a robotic arm will load them onto the reagent areas where they'll be stored, refrigerated, and tracked for you. When they're empty or expired, you'll be notified by the user interface, and here also on the module display. So the operator then just simply deposits them into the waste bin when it's convenient for them. Okay? All right. What then I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about the immunoassay platform and show you what's common between them. For the immunoassay, you have up to 2 choices in terms of throughput. You can have one that runs at the rate of 220 tests per hour, or one for a higher volume at 440 tests per hour, which would give us the fastest immunoassay testing on the market. Each and every test on our immunoassay system uses an individual pipette tip for the prevention of sample-to-sample carryover, ideal for infectious disease testing. You can load up to 1,800 tips and drop them on the floor at a time, and also you can change these things on the fly. The cuvettes are loaded in here. We can load up to 1,500 at a time, and they're also disposable. Both the pipette tips and the cuvettes, after analysis, will be fully dry to also save you on carting costs. The reagents, similar to chemistry, are loaded over here. The reagents we hold a maximum of 42 primary and 35 ancillary, and on the chemistry, we hold a maximum of 67 reagents plus the 3 IMTs. So chemistry gives you the capacity of 70 tests available for each sample, and on here we'll have 42 available for each sample. The reagents come in a pack like this, and also an ancillary pack over here. So we do not ever occupy a primary reagent spot with any ancillary for pre-treatment, pre-dilution, or special washes. The operator just loads them in here. Again, a robotic arm will take them on and off of the system when they're expired or depleted. So it's very automated, and you will then be alerted by the module display. What I'd like to talk to you about now are just 2 key innovations on the immunoassay platform. The number one is that we have total temperature and humidity control. What do I mean by that? I mean there are heaters in this system that keep the temperature within the platform at a constant 33 degrees C plus or minus 2. Why do we want to do that? Because if we experience, as you may, in the laboratory, fluctuations in ambient temperature, many assays are sensitive, and they cause you to have to recalibrate and redo controls. Right? So we don't have that because we keep it at a constant temperature. So our instructions for use on all of our assays would never have that requirement on the immunoassay. The other thing is that for humidity, we have humidity packs, so if you are in an arid environment, no worries, we'll release that humidity into the reagent compartment for stability. The other thing is in our unique patented design of our 2 reaction ring and wash ring. Why is that so important? Well, today, most analyzers have a single reaction tray. So into that, you put your long-term assays, your shorter-term assays, and wash. Don't do that anymore. What we do is we separate that out. So all of the assays will go into an outer ring, and anything that's requiring a longer incubation time will move by a piston into an inner ring so that we do not impede the turnaround time of a faster assay. In fact, we can get our troponins out in 10 minutes. To find out more about our troponins, just behind me is the assay wall and our assay experts that you can ask about. That was a little commercial for them. Okay. So the other thing is the wash mechanism. The wash mechanism is also separated out. And to that, what we've done is we've added very strong magnets. So during the separation step, we can hold them bound. And if the assay requires, we can do what we call a mega wash. And what that will do is that it'll get rid of that signal to noise ratio that impedes the sensitivity and specificity of the assay. So you can have a more specific assay, and actually it increases the precision as well. So those innovation features are just some of the highlights of our immunoassay platform. Now I just want to show you what's common to both. You'll see a module display in front of each analyzer. If you had up to 7 analyzers, each one would have its own modular display. It just gives the operator a little bit more convenience than having to go back to the primary user interface when loading any consumable. The consumables are loaded in here. You would then scan the barcode down here. You'll notice that it's all keyed. Sorry. It's all keyed and has a red septum at the bottom, so there's no straw necessary. The key makes it impossible to put in the wrong spot, so you'll put it in the right spot every time, and they're also enumerated, okay? So after that, once you scan it in, the system will take over and track them in inventory, and also for immunoassay, we're having total traceability, so for each sample, we'll know exactly what consumable was associated with that. Each of these consumables, these system fluids, are then deposited into a reservoir below. So we actually aspirate from the reservoir, which enables us, when we're about 20% low, you'll get an alert. And when you want to empty it, you can do so, and you'll have 30 minutes of operation time just using the reservoir and to replace this bottle. So it makes it very, very convenient. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the user interface. The user interface is over here. It really handles all of our data management functions. We have extensive QC, Levy-Jennings, Westgard rules, Ruibach for our friends in Germany. It also has all the system alerts and notifications in there. But one thing is really, really cool as well is that we have also a tablet. This tablet has the same information as the user interface. So you can imagine how convenient this will be if you had up to 7 analyzers and you wanted to do some action on the system, you could do so from the tablet. The only thing it won't have on here is patient demographic information so that we can abide by HIPAA compliance and CFR Part 11 compliance. It's also very good because for maintenance procedures, they'll have instructional video on here as well, so you can bring it with you if you have to change a lamp. You don't have to go to the primary user interface. And the last thing it has that I want to talk to you about is a remote assist button. So you can press the remote assist button and you can have a video chat with an engineer. And if there's something transpiring on the analyzer, you just show the engineer what's going on, and it'll help you rectify any potential issue in a heartbeat. So we're just really proud of this, and we're hoping that the operators feel it's really a convenient mechanism for them to interact with on our system. So I hope between Joe and myself that we've been able to show you how the Atellica solution can deliver really control, simplicity, and better outcomes for your laboratory. At this time, I'm going to open it up to you to come over and ask us questions or find more about it. If you want to just get a brochure or information, Stephanie is located over here and she can take that information for you. Thank you very much for your time, and we're really looking forward to talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Denise. We do demonstrations on the Atellica solution throughout the day, so if you weren't able to get a close-up look at it, please be assured that we will be doing those during the day. Also, in about 12 minutes right here, we have a very exciting acquisition announcement that we're going to make, and we'll do a wonderful showcase around that. That's going to happen right here. In about 12 minutes, we have a wonderful showcase event happening for you here. It's an acquisition that we're going to be telling you about, and an acquisition announcement, and that will happen right here. That involves our POC informatics area. So join us in just about 12 minutes right here in the theater area.